What's going on, YouTube? Good evening. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's staying safe. I do apologize that this is late, but it was incredible basketball to watch last this tonight. Um, Before we get into the video, um, I want to give a shout out to Sean Spencer. Um, I'm not going to go into detail what's going on with them, but Sean, if you get an opportunity to see this, just let you. This I'm praying for you, brother. Um, I just want to just encourage you with from Psalm 28:7. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him and he helps me. My heart leaps for joy, and with my song I praise him. Um, I just understand, man, is that God is by your side. There are many people that would not do what you done, and God sees that. And just I know it'll be tough. I know it'll be tough for you, um, but I just encourage you to just stay strong. Um, Thoughts and prayers. Um, you know, we just got to be um, mindful. As a global community, that tomorrow's never promised. Um, let's just continue to love one another. Tell those that you care about how much you love them, and I can understand what he's going through. I can somewhat relate. Um, I've talked about it a couple of times here on YouTube. I'm not going to get into it again, but I understand what he's going through. But again, I just want to just start this video off. Just wanted to shout out Sean. My prayers are with you, bro. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. What's going on, YouTube? Nathan back with another video presentation. Hope everyone had a wonderful day. Everyone had a great Wednesday. I know it's 1 o'clock here in the morning here, but I hope everybody was tuned in for some great basketball tonight. Welcome to episode 3 of Big Nate Talk. Before we get into the video, there's a few things I want to say up front. I just thank you all for the support that I have been getting. Excuse me. On this channel. Um, I when I started making YouTube videos, again, Sean, Sean Spencer, Cameron, Elliot, Marcus. This is something that takes my mind off what's been going on around the world, and I'm just amazed from within a year to see where this channel has gone. So I thank you all for the support that you've given me, and just know that the love is much appreciated. And without y'all, I don't know where I'd be right now. So let's get into it. I'm disgusted. Anything. This is the NBA where anything can happen. Kawhi Leonard didn't play today, and will most likely miss the rest of the playoffs due to they fear he may have tore his ACL on his right knee. It happened when he came down on the plate. He was coming down the lane. And I believe it was Bogdanovich that was defending him. He came down on his right knee kind of funny. It was kind of weird in the post-game interview. He said he felt fine. And then you hear he's not playing tonight. Chris Paul, CP3, is out indefinitely. because of COVID protocols. I'm not going to get on the soapbox. I have made videos on. Listen, he didn't want to get. I don't know if he got vaccinated or not. That's his choice. I just it really sucks because here are the Suns who haven't been to the playoffs since 2010, and to see that their best player is not going to play, that could really have an impact on them. Stan Van Gundy and Scott Brooks. Stan Van Gundy parted ways, was from the Pelicans only after a year. I like Stan Van Gundy, but he wasn't the coach for that team. He wasn't. It really bothers me when they say parted ways. When it's white people, when it's white people, they've were parted ways, stepped down. But when it's black, when it's us as African Americans, we're fired or we're laid off. Stan Van Gundy just wasn't the man for the job. They didn't get that. I think they were not. I think they were a little worse than they were before without Gentry. I think he lost some of those guys in the locker room, in my personal opinion. So we'll see. I doubt he'll get another coaching. Well, I'll doubt if anything at best, he'll probably be an assistant. Scott Brooks mutually agreed to part ways with the Wizards after not coming to an agreement. His contract expired after we were eliminated by the Sixers. Actually, let me say this. I would have been okay if Scott Brooks came back, but with a better coaching staff. I would have kept Robert Pat, but I really think it was just not coming to an agreement. I think it was more about coaching staff. I maybe money. Ted Leonis is funny about coaches. Just again, in the 5 years Scott Brooks was here, we didn't get better as a team, and this year was just writing on the wall. So you just see, man, these storylines, with Kawhi and then see Chris Paul. Anything can happen, and these guys have to be ready. The next man up. So, this had to be one of the most disappointing games. This was awful basketball to watch from the Milwaukee side. Let me say this. What I saw Tuesday night from Kevin Durant, we should be appreciating the greatness of these guys. KD, LeBron, Steph, don't matter. We need to be appreciating this greatness. He played 48 minutes. Practically dropped a 50 piece. This series is over. It's over. I have no faith in the Bucks. I don't. The play where Giannis, actually, again, I could show you better than I can tell you. Here we go. And it has Charles Barkley in there. So here we go. This was the play where I think that their season's done, where I think it's over.
Hey, he going to show the play. Watch this play right here. Ernie, ain't no way James Harden should guard this dude. And I don't see guarding him. He said, I don't need no help. And he shoots a fadeaway.
That bothered me. That bothers me because understand this. He's coming off a hamstring injury. James Harden is blood in the water. Giannis is a freak of nature. The fact that James Harden called no help, it lets me know how they don't have respect for Giannis. They don't fear him. Giannis does not put fear into anybody. And last night, this play right here showed me why I think I have to give Elliott a shout out. Why I think it's best we need to start labeling these guys superstars, stars so quickly. This play right here defined the series.
James Harden should guard this dude. And I don't see guarding him. He said, I don't need no help. And he shoots a fadeaway.
Why would you even shoot a fadeaway? He's blood in the water. He should be backing him down something. Take him to the lane, take him to the rim.
Are you kidding me? Ain't no way he can do that. Ain't no way in that situation you got to do that.
And I just have no faith in the Bucks. I don't. I think that play right there defined the series. They will lose Game 6. They're done. They're done. PJ Tucker, four fouls. Giannis fouled out. Brian Forbes, is a poor man's J.R. Smith. He's such a streaky shooter. The Bucks. The one thing I don't get, they don't make these necessary adjustments. Like, my question was in the last 5 minutes of the game, why was Giannis not with Kevin Durant? We had Brook Lopez on him. See, that's Mike Budenholzer failing to make the adjustments. I'm letting you know right now, Mike Budenholzer will be fired if they lose tomorrow. He will not be back next year as the Bucks head coach. Jrue Holiday has got to give me more than he got to play better. They had it. They lost this game. They lost it. We can point to they shot 40% from three. They practically shot the same, 49% from the field. But they turned the ball over 12 times. Points in the paint, 52. This is a smaller team. And again, Giannis, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, they rely on that three. And at some point, when do you make the adjustments and say, you know what? These mistakes that we keep making are going to cost us the game. Kevin Durant single-handedly whooped their ass. Now, I did say also, too, that others have to step up. Blake Griffin gave me 17. Jeff Green gave me 27. Joe Harris he played 37 minutes, only had 5 points. Landry Shamet had 9. Mike James didn't play. Nicholas Claxton didn't play. Bruce Brown Jr. only played 13 minutes. But It's over. They will lose. I have no faith in the Bucks. I don't. Another blown lead. Other than if your name is not Joel Embiid and Seth Curry, where y'all at? Joel Embiid and Seth Curry were the only two that made field goals in the second half. Only two. I mean, Tobias Harris, Furkan Korkmaz, Ben Simmons, Matisse Thybulle, Shake Milton, George Hill, they did absolutely positively nothing. Joel Embiid, listen, he made 7 straight field goals in the first quarter. Joel Embiid did his part. He didn't make a single field goal in the last game. He did his thing. Now, those 2 free throws, it was like a minute left. He missed it. That's when they lost the game. But Ben Simmons, again, see, I now understand what Charles Barkley has been saying about it's time for Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid to grow up, particularly Ben Simmons. Every year, we keep saying the same thing. Have you learned how to shoot? Have you developed a jump shot yet? Have you developed a jump shot? When he develops a jump shot, people, he opens the floodgates. But he chooses to be passive. He chooses to be pass aggressive. 9 points, 8 points is not going to get you to the NBA Finals. You can be this flashy passer, this tremendous rebounder, athletic defender, but when it counts, when you don't shoot the ball or you lack a jump shot, that's what holds you back. And then again, great example. Tobias Harris, from where he was in the Washington series in these last couple games, where are you? Shake Milton, the last game, the last 10 seconds of the game, he hesitated on the 3 that he should have took. I know he only played 13 minutes, but Matisse Thybulle, 24 minutes, 6 points. The others got to step it up. To blow a 26 point lead like that is beyond disgusting. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen in the next game. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Atlanta made they're giving Atlanta the series. They truly are. I'm just disappointed in the Bucks and the Sixers. The Buck stops here. I think that was just awful basketball to watch with the Sixers tonight and last night, and then the Bucks. Awful basketball from both teams. They should be ashamed of themselves. Joel Embiid, perennial MVP, can't do it by himself. He did his part. Where are the others? Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. They gotta stop being. You gotta think smarter and stop playing dumb. Because little mistakes Not switching on defense. Why Brook Lopez on Kevin Durant? Ask Coach Budenholzer that question. And there was another play in the game where Chris Middleton and Giannis are running like a pick and roll, and Giannis turned the ball over because he knew he was going to get fouled. That also cost him the game. They're going to foul you. Let them foul you. Because who knows? You got that pass and they fouled you. That's an and one. And the Hawks tonight from three shot 34%. They shot 45, 46. Let's round that up from the field. I mean, again, your leading scorer was Trae Young. Kevin Huerter had a donut. John Collins had 19. Gallinari had 16. Lou Williams had 15. Bogdanovich had 6. I mean, Philadelphia, these last 2 games have just been giving Atlanta just mental mistakes. And that ain't Doc Rivers. We gotta start calling these players out. They're getting paid millions of dollars and they're performing like this. They're saying we can't listen. I know a coach is always going to get scapegoated, but it's time we start calling some of these guys out. Listen, hey Giannis, learn how to be a man against boys in the paint. Ben Simmons, learn how to shoot the damn ball. See, that's constructive criticism. See, we could say those things. But see, the mistakes are costing them the game. And now they got their back against the wall. I think the Bucks will lose tomorrow. I think they'll lose. And I think the Sixers will lose tomorrow as well. The Los Angeles Clippers. Overall, it was a good game. I'm disappointed Kawhi Leonard did not play tonight. I really do hope he didn't with his ACL. I hope he didn't tear or sprain anything. Again, I'm going to keep saying it, y'all. The others matter. Marcus Morris, Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard, Patrick Beverly. Marcus Morris stepped up big time. He played 40 minutes, 25 points. Terrence Mann had 13, played 26 minutes. Nicholas Batum, 42 minutes. Reggie Jackson, 22. The Clippers were taking advantage of some on defense, particularly getting shots in the transition. But I liked how they adjusted on defense to Utah, not letting Donovan Mitchell go off the way I thought he would go off. Utah to me is doing everything right. I feel like it's just I think they really just missed Mike Conley. I really do. Royce O'Neal had 12 points. Bogdanovich had 32. Gobert didn't have a block tonight, which surprised me. Also, too, somebody said, I'm not going to say who their name is. I thought it was very disrespectful. I think it was kind of low-key throwing shade, saying he shouldn't be Defensive Player of the Year. Had 17 points, 10 rebounds. Spider had 21. Joe Ingles had 12. Clarkson had 12. I think it's small stuff. Utah turned the ball over 13 times, and I think 17 of those points came off turnovers by Utah. So I think a lot of it's just nerves, and I just don't. I think Mike Conley not there. I really think it hurts. But also too, I don't know. I kind of, again, got to shout out Elliot. I kind of understand this point about teams like Utah, Denver, the way they're built. I kind of can see his angle, but Mike Conley's not there, but that's where again the others have to step up. And when the regular season is different from the playoffs, I don't know. I really don't. Disappointing though. It was a great game, but I think the Clippers just wanted it more to me. And on top of that, they're playing small. I told you this lineup having Nicholas Batum, Terrence Mann, and then Reggie Jackson, Marcus Morris out there starting. You have more shooters, but the lineup small. And again, getting in transition where Utah can't set up their defense, but you have to get back on defense. That way Utah can't go off on you. Those are Ty Lue adjustments. And Quinn Snyder has to figure that out. Game 6. I'm still convinced that the Clippers, I'm a firm believer that they will see the Suns in the Western Conference Finals. I just am. I just see it. But otherwise, this was a good game tonight. The Hawks and the Sixers tonight again. Disappointing. If I'm Doc Rivers, I'm going off on everybody. You gotta let them know. Like, y'all look like y'all don't want it. Y'all want to see? We want to go 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Be my guest. But these other guys, man, they getting checks too. Tobias Harris, all them, they getting checks. And the way they performed tonight, the way the Bucks performed last Tuesday night, it ain't gonna cut it. It's not gonna cut it. So I'm gonna transition next into the All NBA teams. So, my instant reaction, I was a bit mind boggled. I kind of want the next graphic. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me show it. Okay, so let me share my screen so y'all can see this. I have some reactions to this. So first All NBA team: Steph, Kawhi, Luka, Giannis, and the Joker. I think there's a couple things that stood out to me. Donovan Mitchell should have been all first NBA team. But I understand because the perception of the Jazz, is it because they have a better record or his level of play? It's the perception that people are giving the Jazz. And I kind of think that's, in my personal opinion, I think that's disrespectful. Let's give the credit that Donovan Mitchell deserves. He's arrived. I believe he's a superstar. But it's the perception I think that we give of him and his team. That I think he should be on this list. I think he should have been first All NBA. Damian Lillard. Hold on, let me look at something. I'm gonna check. I want to do some fact checking. Hold on, Portland. because Damian Lillard, I think, should have been first All NBA. But if I'm looking at their record, which I'm looking at right now, really? Not going to show me the record? Okay. Yeah, this is being stupid right now. Hold on, people. Okay. There we go. So they were the 6th seed, but they were tied with Dallas. They were 42-30. And they're giving Luka the edge. I don't like that, but I understand because the Mavericks, Luka practically carried the team. They were COVID plagued, and again, Luka. Don't get me wrong, Damian Lillard should be on this list. I think it's fair that he got second team, but my list would be Steph, Kawhi. Actually, Donovan, Kawhi, Damian, Giannis, and the Joker. That's my first All-NBA team. This is where it gets tough. Chris Paul, Steph, Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, Paul George. The reason, and then Kyrie, LeBron, Jimmy, Rudy Gobert, who I pull off here, and then Julius Randle as my third All-NBA team. The reason why I have LeBron making third All-NBA team because he wasn't playing like LeBron James, and I get it. Injuries and the Lakers were inconsistent. Lakers were they were tied between the Mavericks and the Trailblazers at a record. They were 42-30. So I understand it, but my second All NBA team, Bradley Beal I think should have been second. And there was people that were kind of going, well, how come Russ is not on this list? If you watched those first 6 weeks of the Wizards, Bradley Beal, that's all I'm going to say, was Bradley Beal. But that's my second All NBA team. I would take Chris Paul, Steph, Jason Tatum, Paul George, and Joel Embiid, my second All NBA team. Kevin Durant should have been on this list. Oh, that makes it tough now. Hold on. Let's write this down, y'all. Let's write this down. So, because we're talking about 15 top players. So my first All NBA. Okay. So we agreed. I said Donovan Mitchell. Okay. Kawhi Leonard. Damian Lillard. Giannis. Joker. But actually, let me instead of Giannis, I'm going to put Kevin Durant there. So I have my first All NBA team right here on Microsoft Word: Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard, KD, Kawhi, and the Joker. All right. Second, NBA. So we got Chris Paul. I agree with that. Steph. I'm going to say Luka. Giannis. No, excuse me. Jason Tatum. Giannis. And then Joel Embiid. Okay, that's my second All NBA team. See, that's where it gets tricky. Kyrie, Bradley Beal, Jimmy Butler, Paul George, Rudy Gobert. Let me do this. So I agree. So Kyrie, Beal. I'm gonna put LeBron there instead of Jimmy Butler. Paul George. Actually, no. No. Let's put Paul George there. Jimmy Butler. And then Gobert. So LeBron is off my list for all NBA team. I think LeBron being there, and then I didn't have Julius Randle making it. That was tough. That was tough. Someone has to go. Someone there's going to be some guys who are going to. They're just going to be left off the list. But my first All NBA team, I'm sticking with that. Kevin Durant should have been on this list. Like I said, Donovan Mitchell should have been first team. Damian Lillard and Luka, you can switch that. You can either or, but KD should be a first NBA, All NBA. Kawhi, and then the Joker. You got Chris Paul, Steph, Jason Tatum. This is my list. Giannis, then Joel. And you got Kyrie, Beal, PG-13, Jimmy Butler, and then Rudy Gobert. But I think also, too, I just feel like at this point, it's a popularity contest. Uh-oh. Y'all can't hear me? Hold on. Y'all can't hear me? Y'all hear me now? Okay. I apologize if I'm like away from the mic, but yeah, those are my all NBA team lists for sure. Hold on real quick. Okay, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure I was like having no problems. Maybe a little glitch there. I apologize about that. But those are my all NBA team lists. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. That was really tough to make on this list. Some guys were going to definitely going to get hurt. It's tough. I mean, this was a really good year, but to have Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Durant not on this list, for at least Donovan Mitchell should have been at least, if not all second. But that's my list. That is my list. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Who is y'all in all NBA roster, all NBA team, excuse me. Oh, I didn't even do the defensive player, the defensive team. Hold on. My apologies. And do the all NBA defensive team. All right. So the first all defensive team. This list was fair. I had no issue with it. Giannis, the Greek Freak, Rudy Gobert, Draymond, Drew Holiday, Ben Simmons. I thought that was a good list. Second All NBA defensive team: Bam, Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid, Kawhi, and then Matisse Thybulle. Very great, good years, well deserved. Who did we leave off on this list? Russell Westbrook did not get any votes. Wow, as a guard. Alex Caruso got some votes. Miles Bridges, Marcus Smart didn't get any votes. No, that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm going to transition into the WNBA. Skylar Diggins and Jazmine Jones. Skylar Diggins for the Phoenix Mercury and Jazmine for the New York Liberty. Got into a little Twitter beef the past. Hold on. Sorry about that. I'm going to share the tweet that started all of this. And I think this is good. I think this was good. I think, in my personal opinion, I think it's good for the league. So the Phoenix Mercury played the New York Liberty a couple nights ago, and this was a good play. Skylar Diggins, Dee Richards out of Baylor University, athletic defender, guarding her, and it's nice little play right there. And you could see Brittany's reaction. It was a good play, and this compelled Jazmine Jones to respond by saying, "Yeah, but caught the L, hyping the wrong stuff up. How about y'all hyping my girl, Bijane, if I'm saying her name right?" And then this is Skylar Diggins responding to her, girls, shut the F up. They can't post a highlight, complain your organization first why they only hype one person. And we all know who they hype up. It's Sabrina from, who's essentially the star of the team. You know, and then she also responded with this crabs in a barrel ass mentality. I guess I look at it like this. The marketing, I've said this before. I think the marketing in the WNBA has to be better. But see, the New York Liberty, Sabrina Eskel, she is the star. She's the face of the team right now. Yes, Bejane Laney's having an all-star year, and in my personal opinion, is most improved. But sometimes you got to look at who's marketable on a team. Like Skylar Diggins is marketable. This was a good play, because again, it's, we know what the type of point guard that Skylar Diggins is coming out of Notre Dame. We know the type of player that she is. Some people, can get a little sensitive and saying, hey, like you're hyping the wrong stuff up. It was a good play. This is it's on D.D. Richards. And then Natasha Cloud kind of responded. Everyone was getting into it. It was Lexi Brown, Liz Kim Beige, everyone was getting into it. Kind of was like, oh, what's going on here? So she said, Sky, tap into something deeper that these kids have no idea about. Tap into your organization's marketing schemes in the leagues before you do a highlight page. I don't know what she meant by highlight page, but it was, again, it's all about who's marketable and who's not marketable. I mean, there are some, like, for example, right? Like the Baltimore Orioles. I'm going to use them as an example. Maybe outside of Cedric Mullins, John Means, Ryan Mountcastle, you can't market anyone in the Orioles. Just like, for example, if you take Bradley Beal or Russell Westbrook off the Wizards, who are you marketing? Thomas Bryant? Daniel Gafford, Ish Smith, Alex Lynn, great players. But it's all about who's marketable and who's not marketable. So I think it's kind of this, I don't want to pull the race card. I'm trying to, I think that the marketing has to be better in the WNBA. I feel like the way it's marketed, there are some, I think there is a factor, and I think there's some things that go into it. But like we look at the Mystics, look who they market. They market Natasha Cloud, Elena Deladon, Errol Atkins, Leilani Mitchell. They'll market them. But you look at like the Indiana Fever, they may market a Kyrese Gundrizik, Tierra McCowan, the Connecticut Sun. They're gonna market Jazmine Thomas, Alyssa Thomas, the Dejanay Carrington they just got from Baylor, the Dallas Wings, Seitu Sabali, Charlie Collier. Those are just examples. Oh, also too, there was random something I wanted to question. I asked, this was a good question. She asked. She said, if a reporter if I tell a reporter no to something, do you think you should respect it? Yes, because as a reporter, there are certain things that you should respect when you're interviewing somebody, that you will respect where they're coming from. So I definitely think you should respect as a journalist that they're not going to get into the whole mic is lagging. Okay. There's a factor into that for sure. So I definitely do think she was right to say, if it was off the record, yeah, you should not be reporting that. If it was off record, because she does say, and it wasn't just a no, it was a hard off the record no. Doesn't that go against journalism code? And it does, but if there's something that you don't want to share, that's none of my business. And I have no right as a journalist to report on that. But again, like I told you, there are people in the media that are going to do any and everything for a story. Just plain and simple. Plain and simple. But I think we really got to get the WNBA back on how to market the league better. To me, it's more about how we're getting these TV, these networks to televise our games better. What are we truly marketing? No disrespect, but I'm seeing some of the ladies market it themselves than the league. They're marketing their own brand than the league. And, people can say the league's not bringing in money, and they are bringing in money. But my question is what is your true marketing goal for the league? But I think between these two, this goes back to back in the bubble. I know they got a game. Hold on, when is that game? I think it's like on the 18th. Hold on, let me look at that game. So the next time they see him is August 25th. August 25th. I'll be tuned in for that game. That's the next time they'll see each other. But for sure, I think it was a bag of sour grapes on Jazmine's part. It was a good play. And also too, you don't really see. I'm glad they're starting to show more highlights of the WNBA, like on Bleacher Report, ESPN. That's what helps the league. It's getting more attention, more awareness. Like, and we should be kind of going like, oh, okay, I like that. Now we're going to get into live voting. We're going to do a live vote of the All Star for WNBA All Star, which is July 14th. So what I will do a video. I'm going to do I'm going to revisit the last 3 WNBA drafts, particularly these last 2. Just the first round only. Simply because I'm seeing way too much talent in the league. Just after 2-3 years, just no longer in the league, and it makes no sense to me, and I'm very disappointed. I think what hurts the league is when you have a CBA that doesn't really address protecting first round picks. And then on top of that, we could talk about expansion. We can talk about all that, but at the end of the day, if it's something about expanding the roster and really protecting those first round picks. That's just me. So the time has, so let me do this. Let me share the screen so y'all see it. So the time has come to vote for your favorite WNBA players for the AT&T All Star Game 2021. You can select up to 4 backcourt, 6 front court, forward and centers, players regardless of conference affiliation when choosing the starters. So right off the bat, I kind of would have liked it if they did it by team and conference. Sue Bird should be a starter. She's right now, she leads the league in 3-pointers made with 31. Ariel Atkins is right behind her. I think she should be an all-star. Nope. Liz Cambage is going to be a starter. Tina Charles, definitely. Tina Charles is leading the league in points with 24 a game. I feel like she's leading, like she's like in assists. But no, she should be, if the season ended today, she'd be my scoring champion. Okay. We have Sophie Cunningham Nope. Diamond DeShield should be an all-star. They are playing, but the way they're playing though, they're not playing to what I thought they would be. Sylvia Fallows gets my vote. She leads the league in steals with two. I'm gonna say 2.5 steals, and then she's shooting 63.5% from the field. Brittany Griner, of course, leads the league in blocks, and she's third in. No, I'm sorry, and she's wait, where's it at? She's second in rebounds per game with 10. John Carl Jones, she's an all-star. She's having an all-star year. She's second in scoring. She's averaging 21 a game, and she's averaging 10 rebounds a game. Betnasia is definitely playing like an all-star. She's fifth in scoring. She's averaging 20 points, really averaging 20 points a game. And if she has my vote for most improved player. We can say Joel Lloyd, but I just think I would give her the edge. Angel McCautry, disappointing. I wish her nothing but the best and hope she's getting well. Arike Ungumbawale. No, I dropped that terribly. I'm sorry. She gets my vote. She's fourth, 20 points a game. We can say Marina Mabry. She's fourth in scoring. Actually, hold on. Oh, I can't add her. Oh, okay. So we got to vote for more front court. Okay, this is tough. Mm. That's tough. I didn't even say Courtney Vandersloot, and she's having a good year. She's leading the league in assists with 8, and still she's right behind Sylvia with 2 steals a game. Damn. We might have to redo this all over again. I think some feelings might be hurt. Damn, that sucks. And Ariel Atkins and Joy Lord, they're tied for most the 3-pointers made. This sucks. This sucks, y'all. Because everyone's been having good years. I'm sticking with Sylvia Follows. I'm sticking with Brittany Griner. But Nasia, I'm sticking with her. She's having an all-star year. Arike. Let me do this. As much I'm a fan of Sue Bird, it's time to pass the torch. There's no disrespect to Sue Bird. I think Courtney Vandersloot should be there. Yeah, let me look. She's averaging. Yeah, she's having a good year. Need one more front court. Well, obviously, Breonna Stewart we got to put in there. I need one more guard. You know, it's really having a quiet, low key year, and it didn't hit me. And she's averaging 17. This is tough. Gotta say Skylar. See, I wish they were done it by conference, not by. This was kind of. I don't like the way they did this. I think honorable mention. But this is just starters. I think what I have is fair. Let's see what it looks like. So I think this is a fair all-star selection for starters. I do. The only thing is I did not put Tiara McCowan because she's fourth in rebounds. But the Indiana Fever are having a bad year. They are a lottery team. But I'm looking at I reward. See, to me, all-star is having an all-star year, and most of these ladies are having all-star years. Like Nneka Ogwumike, like to me, injuries. Candace Parker, she just came off and she's been injured. Sabrina's averaging 17 a game, and this was tough. Now, I definitely want to do a video for the reserves, but this would be my all-star starters. I think it's fair. Y'all let me know what y'all think for sure. Who do you think should be a starter? Who should not be a starter? Do you think my selections is fair? Who would be your reserves? Because the reserves are tough. The reserves are really, really tough. So the Baltimore Orioles. Oh my gosh. Y'all, my team sucks. Listen, they lost their 18th consecutive road game. The Bats cannot make up sloppy. I saw the game. I tried to catch once again. The defense was not that great, and the pitching once again was just bad. The final score today against Cleveland was 8-7. I'm hoping that they get a win out of this series, and I know they have 2 more games to play tomorrow and I believe Friday. I can't make this stuff up. I believe who was it? Keegan Aiken was the starter tonight. And I believe it was in the 3rd inning. That's when all hell broke loose. You know, Ryan Mountcastle had a home run tonight, his ninth on the year. Cedric Mullins, Trey Mancini. I don't know, man. I mean, Keegan pitched 5 innings and two batters. He gave up 8. He walked 3 and struck out 7. But the defense is bad, and it bothers me when I'm hearing all. See, that's why I hate casual fans. I really do, because I was talking about we need to fire Brandon Hyde and all this other stuff. First and foremost, he has nobody other than, if your name is not Trey Mancini, Cedric Mullins, Ryan Mountcastle, he doesn't have much to work with. The rotation is inconsistent, but besides John Means, who's an all-star in my opinion, you don't have after him. You don't have a solid, a consistent starting rotation. You don't. And on top of that, I'm looking at the defense. Franco, Severino. Last time I checked, these brothers played substantial defense. I have a stat here. Let me find that stat. The Orioles this season have scored 263 runs. That's more than the Yankees. But we're 22-45 now. I don't think they will be as bad as the Diamondbacks. Or the Pirates. But it's I'm really disappointed in the Diamondbacks. They are a much better team than that. They have now lost, 30 or 33 games. They're going to clean house. I'm very disappointed. The Rockies too. I told y'all once they traded Nolan Arenado, they're done. Trevor Story's not going to stay there. He's not. He's supposed to be. I think he's going to be a free agent this year. Me personally, I'm not going to sign with a guy that with a team that where I know I could be traded. It's not happening. But the way it's looking, the Baltimore Orioles will have the second overall pick next year. I want to get into the next topic, LeBron James. LeBron James, I have a love-hate relationship with LeBron. LeBron is a great player. A Hall of Famer. But LeBron, the off the court, I have an issue with sometimes. It bothers me. The way these guys are today. The way they're making all this money, and now all of a sudden, they're not happy. They're not. Tread lightly with my big bro, Braun. I got you, man. It just my concern is I understand. LeBron he's getting older, and I'm gonna share the tweets. Let me share it now so y'all can see it. Because this is what bothers me about this. Okay. They all didn't want to listen to me about the start of the season. I knew exactly what would happen. I only wanted to protect the well-being of the players, which is ultimately the product and benefit of our game. These injuries isn't just part of the game. It's the lack of purist. I'm not sure what he was trying to say there. Rim rest before the starting back up. 8, possibly 9 All-Stars missed the playoffs, most in league history. This is the best time of the year for our league and our fans, but missing a ton of our favorite players. It's insane. If there's one person that knows about the body and how it works all year round, it's me. I speak for the health of all players, and I hate to see this many injuries this time of the year. Sorry, fans, wishing you were seeing all your favorite guys right now. And I know it's all about business side too. In fact, so don't even try me. I get it. I think LeBron, I understand where he's coming from, but he has to understand this. The NBA, Major League Baseball, the NFL, hockey, due to COVID, lost money. When a lot of these guys that are going to be free agents next year, this upcoming year, they're going to take a hit in that paycheck. Those that are, I know, like for example, like a Luka, lack of purists. Thank you, Ellie. I wasn't sure because Twitter's. I'm not using the 140 character thing on Twitter. Lack of purists means it's lack of people who care about the game wholeheartedly and understand the dynamics. I mean, I agree with that. There are some that don't care about the dynamics of the game, but at the end of the day, I understand it when he can't. The Lakers had the least days off. They only had 72 days off when they lost in the bubble, but we can't. When you play this game, you have to understand what you're signing up for. I understand, the amount of injuries is not normal, just like I said with football. But when you don't, for example, football, when you don't have preseason, when you don't have training camp, that matters. And I could probably make a case that some of these guys were most likely not in basketball shape. DiVincenzo for Milwaukee is out. Jamal Murray. Injuries are part of the game. Things happen. Now, I disagree with Charles Barkley on this aspect because the Olympics are coming up, and he said we don't have to send. We need to stop. I'm basically just paraphrasing, but he basically said we need to stop sending our best players over, representing us in the Olympics. Last time I checked, I thought that's what we represent the best talent in the world. You were a part of the 1992 Dream Team. You had guys, I believe it was the 2004 year, where pretty much nobody wanted to play. It's all a choice. Bradley Beal doesn't have to go if he doesn't want to. LeBron doesn't have to go if he doesn't want to. It's all a choice. But also, too, again, that bubble, I'm going to keep saying it, like, you guys agreed to play in it. And then, again, if there was an issue, LeBron, that's where you collectively as a league come out and say, hey, let's not have an All-Star game this year. Maybe, let's have an All-Star game, but let's do this, do that. But someone like a Skip Bayless, who again would flip this narrative, would say, "Well, you weren't saying that last year when you won the NBA championship, but because you're not in the playoffs, and because you didn't have a good year, your team really didn't underperform." See what I'm saying? That's what the media will do. I don't like the. I mean, personally, I don't like the tweets per se. When he said they didn't want to listen to me, I I mean, again, it's all part of the game. It's all about money. The Olympics used to be a big stage. Nowadays, they don't need that stage. It's no incentive. Product of evolution. Well, mm, mm, okay. That might be comment. That might be actually. Can I pen that? No, I can't. That actually might be the comment of the evening. It's about money. But I mean, the same thing. If there was no Olympics, the same thing. It's all about money. I'm telling you, these owners has lost money. I did a video on it. They've lost money. Major League Baseball, football, they've all lost money. When these guys when they go to the table and negotiate a contract, and they see, wow, okay, there's gonna be some money not there that should be there, but you know, LeBron is LeBron, so I'm gonna transition back, and I'm gonna transition. I want to kind of I want to get back into my point about these games tonight. I didn't say it earlier. I want to jump back on this point. We give so many excuses for this crappy basketball that we're watching. These guys are getting paid a certain amount of money, and they're not. I just don't understand it. I really, really don't understand it. We got to stop giving guys like Giannis, Joel. We got to stop giving these guys excuses. Objectively, Brian is very good at hindsight. Good point. Good point. But we really have to stop giving these guys like so many excuses. Um, I'm gonna get into Major League Baseball. So apparently, there's a substance abuse substance. Sorry about that. Um, on Hey, sorry about that, y'all. Having some internet problems with my other laptop, so I had to use this one. But pretty much what it's saying here is basically uh, in the next 10 games, starting pitchers will have more than one mandatory check per game, and relievers must be checked at the end of each inning during which they've entered the game or when they've been taken out the game, whichever comes first. Once again, this is just Major League Baseball, just trying to uh, put a bandage on a wound that's deep. That's a deep cut, deep wound, and it's infected. My question was, where was this energy at when you had Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire? Where was this energy at? You know, we at some point. Hold on. You know, at some point we got to stop. You know, we got to start calling what it is. You know, we keep giving Major League Baseball passes, and at the end of the day, it needs to stop. We need to start holding these guys accountable. Again, this is why I just think Major League Baseball is the way it is. It's never going to change. Like I said, cheating has always been a part of Major League Baseball. It's not going to end. Um, you know, I don't know how the new rules are going to affect the pitchers. You know, I've heard so many come out, like, you know, former pitcher Jerry Blivens, Garrett Cole, all of them. You know, and injuries too. I don't know how what this rule is going to do. I don't know what it does for Major League Baseball. And I don't know what it does for the game. But once again, this just lets me know where Rob Manfred, these owners, it lets me know where these guys are at. Um, you know, they're just trying to make amends for what happened with the steroids era, which is all, excuse my language, which is all bullshit because those owners were getting paid. You know, again, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, they all took advantage of it. And now at the end of the day, now we want to try to make a wrong into a right. And at the end of the day, no, Major League Baseball has to hold the L for it. I'm all definitely for not using some illegal substance. I'm not for that. But if you're using like tack, which is the things that they use to keep their hands dry. If you ever watch this, you see the pitcher. I'm all for that, but I'm not a fan of using some pine tar or something where you can manipulate the baseball. I'm not for that. But at the end of the day, Major League Baseball is a joke. Um, I don't know what else we can do to change it. I have a quote here. Zach Davies says, quote, "I'm not a guy that's big into analytics, spend rates, just because that doesn't apply to my game," Davies said. "I don't know how it would affect some guys. We'll see when it comes out. They talk about batting average and all this stuff. Who knows if it has an effect? For a lot of places, it's cold weather. Pitchers have an easier time with their numbers in the beginning of the year compared to hitters. Maybe the full course of the season has an idea what happens. For now, you have to wait and see." We just have to wait and see, honestly and truthfully. We just have to wait and see what happens. But at the end of the day, I don't like it. You know, this was something I think that should have been talked about then and now. And my question is, why now? That's a question Rob Mansford and the others have to answer for me. And at the end of the day, Major League Baseball will always be a distant third to football. It'll always be a distant third to basketball. Um, and this is coming from a baseball fan. But Major League Baseball has an issue. It doesn't know how to market. It doesn't know how to market its fans. One year they're all about the home run. Next year they're all about the hitting. And we give so many excuses for this stuff. And at the end of the day, it's all about money. It's all about money. That's what it comes down to. That's there's no incentive. What's the incentive of a guy like Tyler Glasnow who could potentially be out for the season? What's the incentive? That's the Tampa Bay's starting ace. He's out. Um, I wanted to get into the last topic. Again, I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Some internet connections. You gotta love the internet. The internet at its finest. Um, Charles Barkley is retiring. He will be leaving inside the NBA in 2 years. Let me say this, and this I'm gonna close out by saying this. Um, Charles Barkley, Ernie Johnson, Marv Albert, Kevin Harlan, Stephen A. Smith, Michael Wilbon, and there's some other people in there, but Charles Barkley, had showed me that it's okay to speak. It's okay to speak your mind about a topic, about anything that you feel like is on your heart. We all have an opinion. We can be diverse in thinking. Charles Barkley is not afraid to speak his mind when it comes to certain top subjects, whether it's race, whether particularly. I'm just going to use race as an example. Social injustice. You know, when I first started watching Inside the NBA, that's how a show. That's how journal. That's what journal. That's what sports journalism looks like. And to see where we're at now in society, for example, I'm going to read the quote here. If you crack a joke the wrong way, they're like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no, you crossed the line," Barkley said. I mean, they won't let me even talk about San Antonio anymore. When I'm always talking about them big old women down in San Antonio. They're like, "Charles, we got one lady who wrote an article," and I'm like, first of all, I didn't call anyone personally fat in San Antonio. I was just joking around. We've been probably having fun with this for about 10, 15 years. We got to go to San Antonio, the people having a blast with it. The people in San Antonio had t-shirts made up. You can't have fun. You can't even have fun nowadays without these characters trying to get you canceled and things like that. I'm just trying to hang on for another couple years until I'm 60. And they could kiss my ass. I'm only working until I'm 60. I've already told them that. I'm not working till the day I die. That's just stupid. And if I don't have money by now, I'm an idiot anyway. They should fire me anyway. That's all we talk about behind the scenes. And I'm like, yo, man, be careful going in this direction. I'm like, yo, man, we can't even have fun no more. We've had fun all these years, and all of a sudden, in the last year and a half, everyone's trying to get everyone fired. It really sucks. Um, and I'll leave this article in the description for y'all to see. It's really kind of sad to see a guy like Charles Barkley, and it's all fun. It's nothing personal. But again, like I said, we live in this Oprah-filled society where we can't, as long as you're not getting personal. For example, with like when you're saying things that to a person where where they may do physical harm, that's where you have to be careful. But it's funny. We check stuff like this, right? But we can't check what's happening. Why are why these kids, a lot of children that we're seeing, being cyberbullied, being harassed in school. We're not checking that, but we want to check someone for just having fun about some big old women in San Antonio, or I where's the fun in that? I just feel like we all have to be. It kind of reminds me of that episode of SpongeBob many years ago as a kid. I watched, and it was an episode about being perfect. And he lost his square. He became kind of shaped like a loaf of bread, and he wasn't the same SpongeBob. He became more of this guy who was just too perfect. He wasn't funny. He was actually kind of low key boring. When I look at society, I think of that episode of SpongeBob. We're trying to again pacify, or we're trying to stop all these things, and we're not thinking about what's considered personal, what's not considered personal. Everything can't be canceled. Like Charles Barkley speaks his mind, and you have to respect that. But I think a lot of it is just, again, it's the times that we live in. When it comes to uh, social injustice, race, and we want to be political correct. We're trying to make amends for all these things, and unfortunately, it's not the same anymore. I'm not saying we need to be disrespectful. I'm not saying that. Everyone needs to know when there's a line that needs to be crossed, and when it shouldn't be crossed. But at the end of the day, when you have a guy like this who's won a couple of Emmys, sometimes he can. He was on. It was a. He was on CNN with Wolf Blitzer after when the NBA decided to stop playing their games, and he kept saying, "I really want what's the game plan? What's the game plan?" I don't think I think he knows it, but sometimes he throws me off of that. Like, Chuck, you just said that like 2 minutes ago. So it's really sad to really say that he would come out and say that. I mean, I know a few years ago he said they were doing an interview with Rachel Nichols, and he said, I'm just basically paraphrasing it. He said, my dilemma is, how long do you do a job like this? I'm just basically paraphrasing it. So I think to hear him come out and say, in 2 years he's going to leave the show, that hurts, because besides making YouTube videos inside the NBA, has really made me laugh. Like I said, it's one of the reasons why I took interest in becoming a sports a journalist. Period. I took up as a major for college. And these guys they're the reasons why I'm passionate about sports. I'm passionate about talking about things around the world, and it's unfortunate that I guess as society, just to see that this is what we just can't have fun anymore. We have to be politically correct. We had to have this like mind thinking. We can't have some fun on TV. I'm not saying we need to be again disrespectful, but I'm a firm believer. This is my opinion. I think when he leaves, I think they'll all leave. Who knows? But I really do hope he does change his mind. I know he's been talking about it, but just disappointed to hear that come from Charles Barkley. It was kind of sad too. I'll leave that link in the description for y'all to see. But that's all for this evening. It's now 3:00 in the morning. Again, I do apologize for the interference. The internet on my laptop just decided to stop working. So this is why you should always have a backup, ladies and gentlemen. Have a backup. Have a backup plan. So y'all let me know your thoughts on the topics that I touched on this evening, from the games tonight, Again, we make so many excuses for this crappy basketball, and we got to start calling these guys out. We have to start calling it out. WNBA voting. What did y'all think? Who are y'all Who are your WNBA starters? I'm probably will make a video about who the reserve should be. Yeah. With that being said, man, hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week. Stay safe. Again, this my last word is thank God for another. Let's just thank God for another day. Count your blessings. Just tomorrow's never promised. Just tell the people how much those that you love and care for, how much you love them. Hug them a little tighter. Hug them a little closer. And just know that God is always, is and always will be by your side, no matter what. With that being said, I'm out. Y'all have a good evening. Stay up. Be blessed.